The government today presenting its new fiscal roadmap as it closes off the 2022-2023 period, confident that it's made strong progress and that public finances are much healthier than they were. Delivering those numbers in a 2-hour communication to Parliament this morning was the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. With all the numbers, return to our Fern Carey.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, indicating in his budget communication Wednesday that tax revenue collected during the first 9 months of the fiscal year 2022 to 2023 improved significantly. Includes taxes collected on property, VAT, stamp and gaming, business licenses, international trade and transactions. You can also count departure tax, excise duties, customs and other import duties. This as he touted a budget for security and progress, a 12-month fiscal plan designed to create a safer and more robust Bahamas.
Total revenue amounted to $2.1 billion for the first 9 months of the fiscal year 2022-2023. This represents an increase of $267.2 million or 14.5% when compared to the previous year. To date, our total revenue stands at 73.9% of the budget forecast after 9 months, only 9 months. To more properly assess the magnitude of this improvement, it can be compared to the performance in the fiscal year 2018 to 2019, the last normal year before the pandemic. In this earlier period, total revenue collected during the first 9 months of the fiscal year accounted for only 63.7% of the budget forecast.
By the same token, government spending increased, the Prime Minister attributing this to an increase in the public sector minimum wage rate, industrial agreements signed with various unions, and salary increases for members of the armed forces last year.
Total expenditure increased by $145.3 million to a total of $2.3 billion during the first 9 months of the fiscal year. This accounts for 67.8% of the budget target. In the revenue expenditure component, spending increased by $111.6 million to a total $2.1 billion, which accounts for 69.4% of the budget forecast. Spending on compensation of employees increased by $55.7 million to total $594 million, representing 71.7% of the budget targeted.
As both revenue and expenditure climbed, the deficit decreased over 2022.
Compared to the previous year, the deficit to date represents a decrease of $120.1 million from the deficit of $336.3 million in the same period of that same year, prior year. The deficit in the previous year accounted for 2.7% of nominal GDP. And so, Madam Speaker, the deficit is heading in the right direction, down.
The Prime Minister also highlighted measures to strengthen public finances, such as the establishment of a large taxpayer unit to improve compliance and revenue collection, as well as the implementation of a national revenue targeting center that will identify anomalies in revenue reporting among taxpayers. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.